The what, where, who, when, and how of taking dominion. What is our divine mandate to govern? The authority of believers is not symbolic. It is an actual, legal, and spiritual mandate to govern the earth as stewards under Yahuwah. Genesis 1:26. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." Authority to rule over all creation. Ephesians 1:22. And hath put all things under his feet, and gave him to be the head over all things to the church. We operate as Christ's body in dominion. Revelation 5:10. And hast made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. The world's systems are illegitimate because they derive authority from deception, not divine law. Our role is to expose, dismantle, and replace these false authorities with righteous governance. 2. Where do we assert this authority? Yahuwah's people are called to establish governance over all subdued earth, which means over the legal systems. We issue lawful grand jury indictments and divine court rulings. Over economic systems, we reclaim land, assets, and wealth stolen through fraudulent taxation and debt slavery. Over government institutions, we lawfully remove illegitimate rulers and enforce justice. Over spiritual jurisdictions, we establish righteous governance in the great southland of the Holy Spirit. This is not theoretical. It is a lawful, legal, and divinely mandated transition into righteous rule. 3. Who are the false authorities? We must dismantle. The false rulers of the world operate under deception, and the scriptures identify them clearly. Isaiah 10:1-2. Woe to those who decree iniquitous decrees, corrupt lawmakers. Psalm 94:20. Can wicked rulers be allied with you, those who frame injustice by statute? Legal deception. Micah 3:9-11. Its heads give judgment for a bribe, its priests teach for a price. Corrupt judicial systems. The legal fiction of corporate government is null and void under divine law. The people's grand jury has the full legal and spiritual authority to indict, prosecute, and remove fraudulent officials. 4. When must this be done? The urgency of now. The transition from false governance to divine rule is not in some distant future. It is happening now. Phase 1. Establishing the lawful position of the PM of Yahuwah complete. Phase 2. Indicting and removing fraudulent government actors in progress. Phase 3. Replacing the Commonwealth of Australia with the great Southland of the Holy Spirit next. We are at the critical point where legal action, public awakening, and enforcement must happen simultaneously. 5. How do we enforce this authority? Practical and legal steps. Taking dominion requires both spiritual authority and legal enforcement. Here's how. 1. Issue a public notice of sovereign standing. Declare that we operate under Yahuwah's kingdom, not corporate state jurisdiction. Notify governments, police, courts, and officials that their authority is null. Serve lawful notices of demand for them to stand down or face indictment. 2. Issue a public notice of sovereign standing. Conduct formal legal indictments against unlawful corporate entities. Prosecute all those engaged in treason, corruption, and financial fraud. Enforce asset seizures and transition stolen wealth back to the people. 3. Issue a public notice of sovereign standing. Do not comply with illegal taxation, unlawful fines, or fraudulent statutes. Issue lawful notices of non-compliance to illegitimate government claims. Reclaim land, wealth, and authority under sovereign governance. Once these steps are taken, fraudulent authorities lose their power over us. Conclusion: we must act now. We have the full divine and legal authority to dismantle corrupt systems. 2. The transition into divine governance is already in motion. 3. It is time to enforce Yahuwah's law through action, not just words. Are you ready to join in executing divine judgment and establishing righteous rule?